We're standing in line, clubs will never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me.
Welcome to the Man Show. I'm your host, Mike Guzman, and Pete from Pete's Living Room, and we're here live in Royal Palm at the WEI studio. Today, our guest is dating coach and guru, JT Tran.
Your phone? Where's your
phone? My phone's right over here.
Okay.
Put it over here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have JT Tran on the line. He's a dating coach and guru.
Asian.
And he caters to the Asian community. JT, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
So, so my question to you is: Do you feel that that the Asian, like you cater to the Asian community? Do you feel that the Asian community has to me, I see it as pretty much like girls are girls, and they all give all guys the same kind of shit test. Do you think it's true? Or do you think no? Do you think it's harder for Asian guys?
Maybe on a basic principle level, guys are guys and girls are girls. But communication and culture definitely plays a part. I mean, there's going to be a difference between like an Asian American girl versus an Asian girl, that's flown to America for the very first time, right?
Mm-hmm. That you made me think of something. I never broke it down and thought of it like that, because I guess some of these girls have totally different backgrounds. I guess I never really thought.
Do you deal with Asian girls from Asia or Americanized Asian girls, or both?
Well, what I typically work with are Asian guys, both Asian and Asian American, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, even we know in our Asian community, there is a difference in, like, Asian American girls that were born here versus fresh off the boat, what we call FOB, in a positive sense, girls, mm-hmm. right? So, my clientele, I would say like 40% of my clientele are overseas Asian.
Isn't there a show on TV called Off the Boat or Just Off the Boat?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't watch too much TV.
It may not be on now, but for a couple of seasons there was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's a term we use for any like Asian that is an immigrant, a recent immigrant.
Mm-hmm. But do you think your stuff though could cater to the average guy that's not Asian? Like, too, do you think your plan, also would work with you? Your coaching style will work for everyone, or do you think
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we still get like white, black, Hispanic students. Mm-hmm. Obviously, some of the things that I teach specifically for my Asian clients mm-hmm. isn't really applicable for someone who's like, a white guy. Mm-hmm. But again, confidence is confidence. Social communication is still social communication, regardless of what color your skin is.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be Asian guy looking for Asian girl or vice versa. It could be either or.
Well, right. A lot of my clients, sure, because of who I am, are Asian guys. They just want to be able to date whomever they want. They want to be able to date white girls, black girls, Asian girls.
Hot girls, basically attractive girls is what the thing is.
You can only date an Asian woman. They want options.
Right. Well, a friend of mine who was Filipino used to say that sometimes Filipino girls actually didn't want to date Filipino guys. Like there's kind of like, even with Spanish, the Spanish community is like that too. Uh-huh. Sometimes there's some Spanish girls that only want to date guys of another culture. So I think a lot of times opposites attract. So you have a lot of times where opposite people, opposite groups like a certain group right. is sort of, attracted to a certain group. And I think a lot, I don't know, I think you hit it right though. I think confidence is a big thing.
I was always very picky though.
Yeah.
They had to breathe.
I think all of the minority groups, we all deal with different issues when it comes to race. And it's something that, we deal with, because there are, without a doubt, Asian women that they'll only date white guys. They hate like Asian guys. They think like Asian guys where, we look like their dad, we looked at their brother, or we're abusive or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I've heard that with Spanish. I'm Spanish. I hear that with Spanish guys too. Yeah. Sometimes they say, Spanish guys beat women. So
they have the right to date whomever they want. I'm going to hit on who they want to date, but by the same default, Asian guys, we should be able to date whomever we want, whether it's a beautiful black woman or white woman or Latina.
We don't have
like,
to be politically
correct. We should not be like
No.
restricted and policed by our dating choices either.
What happened? Do you deal with all what do they call it? Sexual preferences? What happens if it's an Asian guy looking for an Asian guy?
Well, you know what? I've actually taught both lesbian and gay students before.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we cater towards the more like the heterosexual, like Asian crowd, not exclusively. Like I said, all types, but in those circumstances, usually the gay students will just take like the lecture, right, and just again, it's all about communication. While I've had like a lesbian student who'll actually come out with us, and he'll just try to convert like a hetero girl.
Oh, wow. That's funny. So, what do you think as far as a lot of people say, oh, women don't care about looks. But then you see these guys that are getting hit up with sexual harassment charges, and it's never the really hot-looking guy. It's always the guy who's like 400 pounds. So I kind of believe it's bullshit.
It's a good-looking woman.
It's a good-looking woman, but I always think that, I think it's kind of bullshit. They always say that women don't care about looks, but I happen to think that women are very picky about looks.
Looks and the portfolio kind of balance each other off. If you're really good looking and hot and you've got, you're a kind of stable portfolio, you may find you attractive. But the uglier you get, the bigger your portfolio is, the more attractive you become.
And that's my problem right there.
You don't have looks or a portfolio.
I'm working on the portfolio and I'm working on the looks. They're both a work in progress.
Well, I mean, to answer my question, I mean, it's true. Like, women do care about looks, but at the same time, not to the same degree or magnitude as us guys. Like, hey, we are dogs when it comes to looks.
Yeah.
And it's very important to us. It's not the only important thing, but it is definitely important that attraction, right? But for women, it's important, but not to the same degree. Okay, but don't mistake that as like women will date any just dirty dog.
Yeah, like you see in those movies like Hitched, where the 400-pound guy gets the model girlfriend. Always you see in the movies, you see that.
Even
the
movies
nice guy,
that take something out of reality, they make it unrealistic.
The nice guy, the nice guy who's it doesn't matter what he looks like, ends up with the beautiful girl at the end.
Do you find more Japanese or more Chinese or Thai, Vietnamese are coming to you than other nationalities?
I would say like predominantly are Chinese, Filipino, Korean, and then like Vietnamese, obviously.
Yeah.
When I was in LA, I saw they had a really big Korean community. Yeah, I even saw like.
I think interestingly, for all the low birth rate in Japan, I've taught in Japan before, but out here, I don't get as many Japanese like clients, ironically, because Japan has like so many like dating troubles. Like they're inventing like sex robots and anime girlfriend body pillows.
The other thing too, I wonder, we're talking about the Asian community, and didn't MGTOW, because I kind of support the MGTOW movement a little bit. Didn't MGTOW, wasn't that started? Was that an Asian started group? I don't know if it's true. Is that true or no? Do you know anything about MGTOW?
I'm really not
familiar with MGTOW.
What is MGTOW?
MGTOW is basically, it's a movement called Men Going Their Own Way, and it's kind of sort of the opposite of the pickup artist, where they kind of say that you don't really need a girlfriend. If you want a girl, just go buy a hooker, basically, kind of thing.
Like Drew Carey.
right.
Okay.
You don't really need a girlfriend, and they're kind of like the anti kind of pickup artist sort of thing.
They say it's cheaper to hire a hooker when you need one than to have a relationship.
One thing I've heard, again, I'm not like familiar with the ethos of MGTOW, but one thing I've heard is like, don't date American Western girls, go to Asia, right? And I'm kind of pushing back on it's an Asian. Maybe it is. I really don't know. I don't know the history.
Yeah.
But for us Asian guys, We moved from Asia to come to America to have a better life.
Right.
I don't think the majority of us are going to like move back. Right.
So what started you getting involved to make you decide to become a pickup artist dating coach? Was it you had trouble yourself dating?
I mean, like as an Asian guy, and I'm sure like most guys that are listening in might, be familiar with this, where I was the perfect boyfriend on paper, just on paper, right? I was an aerospace engineer, like literally rocket science, right? Used to work for NASA in the Air Force, making like good money, driving a luxury car, living near the beach. And I was, loved my mom, and like on paper, I was a good boyfriend, but I could not get a date for the life of me, right? I failed at speed dating, like online dating, like eHarmony, like rejected my application because they said I was too cerebral and too analytical, so they rejected me.
Yeah, women don't want smart guys.
Yeah, like the brainy thing, brainy is the new sexy didn't come until like much later. And so, as someone who is smart or someone who prides himself in being just driven and educated and smart like me, I was like, I need to figure this out because I did what my society, my culture told me to do in order to be successful. Which in retrospect is just a form of objectification. Like I learned to objectify myself as my only worth is what's in my wallet to a woman, right?
But that's kind of all of us.
What am I worth? So I, unbeknownst to me, is like I just objectified myself. And so I started studying like psychology, and I got into pickup, and I realized that
worth
the parts that I can control.
I got less than that. Yeah. So you gave up being a professional to that really drove you to be a pickup artist? You seem like you had a pretty good job.
It wasn't a 1-1 correlation where I decided to do this over the other thing. But it was more that, have you guys ever seen Office Space?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. There's that scene where everybody takes out that printer or that copier that they're just so pissed off at, and like Snoop Dogg is like playing in the background, and they do this like beat in on the office. That's what I felt like.
Okay.
Yeah, working in a mission control center was super cool, but that was like maybe 30% of my job. The rest of like the 70% was just this government work, this office backbiting politics that just drained my soul. Right? It just like left me, maybe I was 30% professionally and emotionally filled, like, doing the space thing. But the rest, just like, I was just not made for like corporate politics where you gotta like kiss ass and shit like that.
That's true. And so do you have like seminars weekly that you guys go out on the field and they do what they call this in-field, where I guess a group of guys go out.
Right. So,
and they kind of pick up
we
girls.
do what we call boot camp.
Yeah.
Every month, from like the big cities like LA, San Francisco, New York, to the smaller cities, Dallas, Chicago, Orlando, Detroit. So, and we also do overseas. Like we're doing a European residential like next year. We do like London, Australia. Basically, guys are universal, and we all want to understand what the opposite sex is thinking and how to basically put our best foot forward in order to get them attracted to us.
Don't you have a book out? I thought you wrote a book, right? Or am I wrong? Did you have a book
I've
out?
got a couple of books. One of the more popular ones is what I call the online dating guide for Asian men, the scientific method to finding love. So basically, we took a very kind of pseudo rigorous scientific approach to making online dating work for Asian guys, where we created multiple profiles, had a control profile like a white guy, came out with different pictures and profile descriptions and emails and like, how to get the number, how to ask for the date. So it took a while. I think we sent out like something like 12,000 messages to find like the ones that work for Asians.
Do you find though, I kind of think with online dating it's sort of with women, I think they put a fantasy in their head, and I think they kind of, because they're not seeing the person in face to face for the first time. So it's kind of a totally different interaction than if I meet a girl on the street where I go up to her and say hello. If she gives me her phone number, then that's a pretty good chance that she may like me.
If she gives you the real phone number.
Right, if she gives me the real phone number, right.
I mean,
and
I don't
so,
even
you know,
know.
but online, I kind of feel like women kind of fantasize, you know, like they have this dream vision of the guy that they want, and then when they see the actual guy, then if it's not what they envisioned in their head, then it goes south. That's my thought. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would describe it as a fantasy so much as, you know, women are allowed to act as men. They can be as a dirty dog like a guy can be, where they won't answer anybody that's under 6 foot tall or like over 30 or like Asian, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They can be as superficial as men are, and they can be just like completely racist without any accountability, because no one's going to call them out on, you know, because it's anonymous.
Right.
So do you give
But
people
they do
like
whatever they want?
you give them like pickup lines to use? Like, hey, baby, you know, why don't we get together? Come over and I'll show you my egg roll or something like that. I mean it. I mean it to be funny, but
right.
I also I'm just trying to envision, that shy guy that can't talk or give a catch line to get her to laugh for a second and say, you're cute, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, a girl online will get like literally hundreds, if not thousands, of messages.
Right.
So if you use things that are a little bit too kind of copy and paste,
yeah,
they're going to be able to call that out. I mean, you can go like, you know, like Tinder, for example. Yeah. You can go a couple ways where if you want to keep it simple, you can do like, hey, and then try to use emojis. I know a lot of guys like, why the hell do I want to use emojis? It's you know, whatever. But
yeah.
Emojis is the only way you can really communicate emotions, right? Because text is really hard to communicate, like if you're being sarcastic.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes I have with email with girls.
Like,
they'll think I'm
do like hey, and then like a kissy winky smiley face, right? Where you're just doing it with a smile, but like with a suggestion of like a kiss, right? Or you can personalize it a little bit more, where maybe you try to do something like a play off of her name. You know, it's like if her name is Mary, for example, you're like, hey, Mary, did you lose your little lamb? Or like, hey, Mary, this is the big bad, you know, whatever, you know.
Right.
You know, you try to, I won't say like give it too much thought, because obviously online is a numbers game for guys.
Yeah.
Right.
But don't do like a complete copy and paste, because it's really.
That's what I would do. I would write out the same message, like, hi, I'm Mike. I'd like to get to know you. Let's meet up for coffee sometime. And I would just take that and I would copy paste it and just send it to 100 women and see what I get back. And then I get maybe 3 replies back, and that's it.
And you know what?
That's
just
what
a little segue here is, you know, you're talking about sarcasm and all that. And there's one thing, I've got a little bit of a sarcastic sense of humor. One of the things that I've always asked when you're posting something in social networking, or in your case, you know, online dating, how do you post something and make people know you're being sarcastic? Is there a
sometimes some girls they'll get a message and they'll be like, are you being sarcastic? Are you being mean? Or something, and I wasn't, or am I saying something in an angry tone? So they'll think I'm saying something in an angry tone, even though I'm being playful. You know, I'm being joking,
and then at the end of it, I've put in parentheses sarcasm, but I have no idea if there's like any icon or anything, you know, emoji that.
Yeah. Like I said, like, you know, through text is really hard to communicate like subtle nuances of humor other than like the obvious. But if you are trying to do like sarcastic or dry, or, you know, being very droll, like use emojis, because that is the only visual representation that you have to say, like, hey, I'm not saying this with a straight face. So maybe you do it with like a wink, you know, or, you know, a wink and a whistle or something like that, just to show like, hey, you know, this is not a serious statement. This is just like a jokey statement.
And now, since there's like a whole, I guess I don't really hear about it much in Florida, but I hear that there's like a whole pickup community. So you guys have like, are you friends with all the other PUAs? Are you friends with like Mystery and all these other guys that are out there, Discovery, all these guys who are doing it, the RSD guys? Are you like friends with all those guys, or are you guys like competition? Are you guys like rivals?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm friends with quite a few. I mean, myself and my company, the ABCs of Attraction, we exist kind of like in a different subset. Like my Venn diagram is like dating an Asian American, right? So like I know Mystery, respect and love him. He was like, you know, someone that taught me a lot. But like I, you know, exist in a kind of like a different spectrum than the other pickup artists.
Right.
I mean, I know them. Some of them I'm friends with. Some of them I only have heard of.
Right.
But it's not like I, you know, socialize in the same kind of like, you know, group.
You have a target market. They're kind of going for a, you know, they're kind of going for everybody. You're kind of for a target. Is that more or less what you mean, or?
Yeah. I mean, for me, like my first student was a Chinese Canadian mother. You know, it was a woman who called me up, and she wanted me to help out her son, a 17-year-old boy who had been harassed by neo-Nazis.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow, that's crazy.
And so he had like obvious, like huge self-esteem, confidence, like, you know, issues with racism and prejudice. And he wasn't making friends and never had a girlfriend. So, you know, she asked me, because she had been following me, right? She'd been reading my stuff. And she called me up out of the blue and said, hey, you know, I'll fly you out. I'll have a car pick you up, and I'll pay you. And that was the first time I ever thought that this was something that could make a living off of.
Right, yeah.
It was never about a business. It was me like a service. It was like a call to service, where like I was that 17-year-old kid that got picked on.
Right.
Not only was I got picked on, but I was like I went to prom by myself.
You know, you talk about ethnic. I used to.
Those losers.
Yeah.
So
West Palm.
Multiple levels, I can really relate to someone like that.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about getting picked on. When I was a kid, West Palm used to be like a hick town, and I remember I was Spanish, so I have my PR in me, my Puerto Rican in me. So my hair.
Did you do landscaping?
No, I didn't do landscaping. Stop it. My Jewish racist co-host. So my hair would be curly. So they would always tell me I have black person's hair. I used to always get that from girls and guys when I was a little kid.
Like Brillo type.
Because my hair was very curly. My hair would grow out, and it would be like a fro. But you know, now people like it. They say it's, you know, my hair is wavy and whatever. But I can kind of relate to what you're saying about, you know, dealing with the racism a little bit and stuff like that. You know, it kind of hurts your feelings a little bit and your self-esteem. You know, and I think that kind of.
I mean, when we all encounter difficulties.
You know,
racism is just one thing. Like, you know, other people are going to encounter other difficulties, and the key is confidence, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And you know, to dust yourself off when you get knocked down.
Yeah. Whether
that's a bully or whether that's like, you know, someone who's being racist to you.
Yeah. Or, you know, or your family member that's down on you. Like confidence is dusting yourself off when you get like punched in the face. Yeah. And now have you had like as a successful case for you? Is it turning one of your Asian students into a player, or is it to get him a girlfriend, a regular girlfriend, or is it for him to date a bunch of women, or is it like what is it you would say like is a success? Like you'll look at a student and say, this was a success case. I feel pretty good about what I did with this student. Like what is it? What's your objective?
Well, each guy is a little bit different. Even with my company and myself, we've like evolved and we've grown with the times. And, you know, I set out, like, I was like a hardcore, like, Asian playboy, like a pickup artist. But over time, what I found with my students were, like, the majority of them really didn't want to be, like, hardcore players. Like, some of them did, and God bless them, but that's not the majority. I'll give you an example. This is a good kind of, like, snapshot of, like, everything about me and the ABCs over the last 10 years. I had a student, we did a documentary called Metamorphosis with him, and his name is William. And when he got into my program, his goal was to get like laid by 100 girls.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So very ambitious, but you know, God bless him. Not going to judge. You know, you do you, man. So he was 30 years old, and he was ready to throw in the towel. Like he was going to move to Taiwan because he could not date for the life of him. He had like never dated like an American girl, and so he was so frustrated until one day he got this email from his buddy who had gotten, you know, laid on his third night of boot camp and said, William, you've got to take this program. you know, if it doesn't work for you, just move to Taiwan and, you know, buy yourself a mail order bride. So William, you know, New York, Wall Street guy, right, ends up actually having his first one-night stand at my boot camp on the very first night.
Wow.
So, you know, bless him, you know, it's like, you know, he's getting out there. He ends up, I don't know, dating like maybe 40 girls in a year or 2 year time span, like 1,000 times percent more than he's ever had in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day he tells me, JT, sleeping with like 40 girls is not as fun as I thought it would be. You know,
really?
I want to find someone serious. I want to settle down. And so what he started doing is like he started becoming a serial monogamous, where he would date, you know, a girl seriously for 3 to 6 months, decide if this was wifey material, and if not, you know, just break up with her so they could each follow their own pursuits. And so finally, he ends up going to the very first club that I took him to. His very first place, he had a one-night stand where he picked up a girl, and he ended up meeting the future Mrs. Lee, right?
Wow.
And, you know, they dated for 2 years. He proposed to her, and I had the great honor of officiating his wedding. You know, I actually got out there and to say, you know, Mr. William, take her to be your lawfully wedded wife.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. And this year, they just had a daughter, and he named me like the godfather of his daughter.
Oh,
so,
that's got to make you feel pretty good.
So do you have a website for that people go to, or they just call you?
Yeah, they can go to abcofattraction.com. It's called the abcsofattraction.com.
And you know, for what was I going to say? Now, when you take the, you know, different guys, do you give them, like, do you also do like a makeover with them style wise? Because some people told me that I need that help myself. They were like, you know, I like to go out with sweatpants and a t-shirt, and, you know, it could be a $200 t-shirt, but I'm like a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy. And then they say, you know, if you want to impress girls, you got to be dress pants, you know, kind of polos and, you know, dress shoes, which I do have in my closet, but I wear them once in a while. But do you think that makes a difference?
Here's the thing. Like, I wish I was born tall, dark, and handsome. I wish that. But I have learned to settle for being short, stunning, and smooth.
Uh-huh.
I am a 5'5", very average-looking, at best, Asian guy.
Mm.
All right, I am not handsome. I'm not good-looking. But what I've learned is there is a difference between being good-looking and looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I cannot control how tall I am. I cannot control that I'm not a male model, like good-looking guy. But I can control like how I present myself. Because to me, like, you know, a suit on a man is like lingerie on a woman.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna stack the deck in my favor because I don't have a lot of like quote unquote like natural or physical advantages, right? So I am going to, like, you know, cheat the system as much as possible, right? Because physically, I'm always going to, if it comes to pure attraction, I'm always going to lose to someone who is 6 foot tall. I'm always going to lose to someone who's like a good-looking guy, right?
Right.
But I will control the things that I can control for, and then may the best man win.
Gotcha. You put something in perspective for me.
Wow. So I'm looking at your boot camps.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one coming up next week, this week, in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
You got Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, L.A., London, Toronto, Houston, San Francisco.
Yeah.
You go to each one of these? You travel to everything, or somebody?
Well, I teach what I call the premium boot camps, right? So my programs are like the $3,000 weekend programs, and then I have coaches under me that will teach like the certified ones. And these are typically in the smaller cities, and they'll teach there. So that makes it more affordable to the guys that don't live in like New York or LA, which is like places where I normally go to. So we've got a range of options for different locations and men with different budgets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I guess, you know what, I think I'm pretty much in touch with what's going on in the world and everything. I'm amazed, and I know a lot of people who've used like online dating,
right,
and gone through the whole process, good and bad. But I'm amazed that I'm figuring if you are holding these boot camps, there's not like 3 or 4 people going to it. There's more than that, and just the thought of that, there's so many people out there.
There's a lot of guys
reaching out for help.
Well, especially you got two. I think JT. Yeah, I think especially too this time of the year. I think for me, like as a single guy, I think you get really depressed when it comes to the holidays and Valentine's Day. Those are like the two, to me, those are like the two worst times. I mean, I don't mind being single, but I think the most depressed I get is when it comes to like the holiday times, because you go out there and you feel like you see all these guys with their wives and, you know, they're out Christmas shopping and having a good time, and you're like the single guy. So I would think that like right now during the holidays and like Valentine's Day, you guys would have a lot of business coming in, because, you know, that's when guys don't want to be single, where they want to have a girlfriend.
Right,
you know,
right.
Specifically,
well, I mean, like the holidays itself,
you know,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, things kind of slow down because it's the holidays, people saving up for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. Like after the New Year's and coming into Valentine's Day, guys are like looking around and like, nothing's better for me. Like, it's like 2018 now, and I am single and lonely and desperate as I was in 2017 and 2016.
Right.
And so there is definitely an uptick when people realize that they're stuck in the same rut they were last year.
Right.
Does when people are posting, you know, like profiles and stuff online, is there, and I'm not talking about taking a picture through the mirror in your bathroom, but is there a psychological advantage to using certain pictures over other pictures?
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, you know, pictures, don't let anybody say anything different. Don't let anybody, like, lie to you. Pictures to women are the most important thing, period. A distant second is your description, right? The pictures are the most important. So, you know, like Tinder, you can get like 4 or 5. So you want to have, if you're athletic, try to do like a full body one.
JT, actually, can I interrupt you? We've got somebody who's been trying to call in. I think they want to talk to you.
Hold 1 second.
So hold on. I'm going to connect conference everything. Hold on.
Hold 1 second.
WEI Network, you there?
Yes, hi. This is Heidi Ray live.
Hi, how you doing, Heidi? Hi. My other friend, Heidi.
All right. Have you been listening, Heidi?
No,
we're talking to a dating coach.
Busy because of the holidays of Thanksgiving coming up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're talking to a dating coach, JT Tran. So.
Oh, okay.
So you can listen into what we have to say.
All right. So hang on.
Heidi has a band.
All right, hang on.
Yes, my band is Mystic Level in South Florida, all Broward area.
Right. Okay.
Hold 1 second.
Listen,
hold 1 second.
Hang on. Hang on. We're going to put you on with him, and then we'll get to you about the band. Okay.
Yeah. 1 second.
Okay. I have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
Great. 1 second.
I'm sorry, JT.
Yeah. Sorry, JT.
We've got Heidi on the line listening to you.
Yeah, she was promoting her band.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Great. Thank you for asking.
She's from your neck of the woods, California. So that's kind of a coincidence.
Yes, I'm from California. And Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Are you single, Heidi?
No,
I'm
she's
born and raised in Wisconsin.
No, she's in a relationship.
I lived in Los Angeles in the movie industry for about 10
all right.
Wait 1 second.
Are you in a relationship or are you available?
She's in a relationship.
I have a relationship.
Yeah,
I'm friends with an Asian guy?
With a mover.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
never mind. Okay, JT, sorry.
JT,
labor movers, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. So JT, going back, what were we discussing now? We were talking about the dating?
The pictures.
The pictures. You said that means 1,000 words, right?
Right.
On the online dating, right? Yeah. And what was I going to say? As far as, is there anything you recommend, any specific type of poses or pictures?
It's always good to have a different array to highlight different things. Like, say, for example, if you are athletic, try to have like kind of a full body, of you doing something athletic, whether it's horseback riding, mountain climbing, even just like jogging or hiking, right? It's just show something different other than the bathroom selfie.
Right.
You want to show her that you're physically active.
Well, I want to tell you, I thank you because you just, yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's interesting. I love horseback riding, roller skating, all those things. I'm very active. Are you looking for somebody that is into?
So, JT, hang on. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the show, and you gave me some insight as far as what you were talking about as far as dressing and having style, and and sort of helping that into my favor. And I wanted to tell you happy Thanksgiving and give a plug out and name any of your websites you'd like to for the guys and the viewers to go on to. Go ahead.
Sure. Thank you so much, guys. Again, this is JT Tran, America's #1 Asian dating coach. Our website is the abcofattraction.com, or you just call us 323-317-2431. We help more guys than just Asian American, right? But obviously, I, as a 5'5", average looking Asian American guy, if I can, date beautiful women, wonderful women, high quality women, then so can you. Thanks so much.
All right.
Cool. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, JT. Thanks. Come on again anytime. Take care.
JT.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving. So Heidi, you were going to discuss your band, Mystic Level.
Got a lot of things going on, Mr. Mike. I have so many things going on. It's not just my band, Mystic Level of South Florida, and that's spelled MYSTICLEVEL. Rock and roll band that performs with saxophone, 3 girls in front, and the rest are guys. Full band.
When are you doing your show? When are you going to have your show? Because I'd like to come out to one of your shows.
Consider it a rock and roll party band, because we do funk, we do rock and roll, we do the music of, style as well. My band logo of a moon, the moon on Facebook, Mystic Level, and also I have.
What's the name of the band?
What's your name? Mystic Level, and what's the other name of the band? The new band?
The other name of the band a while back was Wild Daisies, but we have changed with that, so we're into.
What's the current band? What's the current band's name?
What? Mystical?
Mystic Level is because everybody, has a different level of playing, and this world today is so mystic, it's just.
And you're going to be in South Florida?
Yeah, she'll be here.
It's all over, we're in South Florida and Broward area. We also play up in, we're going to start playing like over in Orlando and Tallahassee, Hard Rock, and different places all over South Florida.
All right. When do you have some gigs coming up soon?
Yeah, pretty soon after the Thanksgiving holiday, I'm going to have the band out there, and we're going to be putting it out on my Facebook page and my regular Facebook page for acting and modeling. And, my career is Heidi Ray, HEIDIRAE.
I'm friends with her.
Girl with the black cowboy hat.
Oh, okay.
I'm friends with you on Facebook.
Yeah, it's Peter.
Oh, cool. That's great. Bring more people to be my friend because I love that. The more people that check me out, the better it is. And
no, they're checking you out, lady.
And I get a lot of things done.
So I got to work on set in what was it, Beach Bum, and it was fun, man. I had a good time. I finally got to work. Yeah, the only thing of it is that you never know, these things if they're going to show it or cut it out. But I had a good time. I hope I get to work on it again. It was fun. It seemed like it was, I had to see more productions come to Florida.
The thing is, I was out of town, so I don't know if it's going on still or what's happening.
It's still going on. Yeah, you still got time.
I was in Rock of Ages with Russell Brand and Tom Cruise, and I've been in the movie The Doors, Wayne's World, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean,
you were in the Drake video.
I'm in the elevator. I've done so many things, so you could see my information on IMDb also, International Movie Database.
Yeah. So, so what was you? Oh, you were saying about something you wanted to promote. What's your Movers, Johnny's company? What's the name of it?
Yeah.
For our listeners, so if they need any help moving.
Johnny Boy Labor Movers. We're in South Florida, and he has a website also called Johnny Boy Labor Movers. And we have reasonable rates, and we work rain and shine. And we just love to help people and very, reasonable. If you want the job done, we get it done right. It's like we don't have any hidden fees. We don't, screw people over. We're very positive.
That's good. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I love you and Johnny, because you guys are both really like down to earth, very like mellow. I kind of love that. You guys are very laid back. I love that.
Thank you so much. We put it on. We put it on offer up just a little while ago, and we also have a regular website called Johnny Boy Labor Movers.
Yeah.
And our email is johnnyboylabormovers@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And the phone number, if anybody needs any moving services, is 954-699-4643. And you just leave us a message or text message us, and we'll get back to you right away. We're not these kind of people that just leave everybody hanging because of the situations that are occurring in this world today.
Yeah, yeah. So what was I going to say? So you just got back today, from Wisconsin?
I got back about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's almost like today.
Okay.
Totally decorating my house, getting things organized. My friend is coming in from Wisconsin, actually.
Yeah.
You can meet her, Mike. That would be great.
Okay. That'd be nice.
She wants to meet all my friends out here in Florida.
Was she a former exotic dancer like yourself, or no?
She's going to be staying at my house, and we're going to take her out to the Hard Rock. I'm going to show her my.
Yeah.
Did you just invite Mike to stay at your house with her?
She's my best friend, and she was my classmate years ago, and we've been.
Is she cute?
That wasn't a no.
Is she cute? Oh, thanks. Is she cute?
Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
And they're beautiful inside and out. They're just got great personalities and uplifting people.
Yeah. So
I wanted to talk about my brother's information.
Oh yeah, you were saying about your brother he has a charity organization he's trying to set up, right? I know you mentioned something about some memorabilia.
He has a lot of memorabilia of Brett Favre. He has a lot of inventions. He has 5 different inventions. And he has something going on right now. He's got so much happening in Wisconsin, and it's be going for proceeds for the children.
Does he have a website or something that the viewers can maybe go on and check out, or no, to get in touch with him?
They can contact my brother, Wayne Anderson, WAYNE by his email, wayne.fantasy@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, I know
he had a good cause. Him at all, just please email him. He'll give you all the information on everything that he has. He has Brett Favre's memorabilia. He has foam hats that he has already invented from the Green Bay Packers.
I think his daughter has
the cheeseheads hat.
His daughter had. I think he told me his daughter had.
Man that made him.
That's what.
I think he said his daughter had cancer, right, or something. Was his?
No, his daughter has what they call low tone. It's a very bad crippling disease that she was born with.
Yeah, it's too bad.
They were getting this together to try to help all the children that are special needs and their families.
Yeah, we know. Okay.
People that are going through the hardest times in the world today.
Right, yeah, it's true.
My
it's bad.
brother has a lot of good and a lot of knowledge about things because of his daughter.
Right. So,
these people in this world, it's going to work or, struggling on the situation of people being homeless or feedless, it's like if you have no idea what it's like to be a person that has to take special needs children in care of.
Right.
Okay? It's a job every single day of your life.
Well, I know one of my cousin's children is special needs, and they have to have nurses with them around the clock, and it's pretty
every
bad.
day,
and
it's
bad.
heartbreaking for our whole family to see what my brother goes through, just to get some kind of response in this world. Get this off the ground. It's Hearts for Home.
Heidi, we wanted to just
all over
we just wanted to give a pitch again to your
let's do this. We only have like a minute and a half left.
Yeah.
Heidi.
So what's the name of your band for them to go back to check you out on Facebook and add you?
Mystic Level, MYSTICLEVEL. The moon logo is my band name, and that is my logo.
Okay, and I just wanted to say thank you for coming on the show, and have a happy and wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks a lot for letting me be on the show. And this is
awesome. Come on again anytime.
WEI, you know.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye. Bye. So we were going to talk about the movie, right? The movie premiere that we went to.
Yeah.
That was a sleeper. The Man Who Invented Christmas. That was a real sleeper. I literally fell asleep, and then your buddy next to me was snoring.
Well, you know, it's pretty funny. I spoke to the publicist. She called me the next day. Not the one who was there running it, but the head.
Yeah.
And she said, "How'd you like the film?" And I said, "It was interesting." I said, "Boy, that guy had a lot of demons, Charles Dickens."
Right.
And she said, "Yeah, she hadn't seen the movie yet." And she said, and response, I said, "Well, I had 8 people there. I think I was the only one who didn't fall asleep."
The funny thing about it
I know other people who've seen it. Yeah. There was another premiere down south. We went Tuesday, maybe it was Friday or Monday, I don't remember. And it got some good response from people.
That's good. If you get any sneak preview for Father Figures, I was an extra in it for maybe 2 seconds. I want to see that. So if you get any sneak preview for that, let me know.
You know.
The funny thing about the movie was, to me, was I had a British girlfriend years ago, and the part where she was talking about to Charles Dickens and tell her that she was pregnant, and she goes, "No nappies," or she goes, "We're gonna have to buy some nappies." And I remember I was dating a girl named Kim,
you said that,
and she was from Britain. And I remember she said the word nappies, and I says, I was a little kid, and as an American, that's something a nappy you refer to African American. And I was like, you calling my child, we got pregnant, you calling my child nappy? And I'm like, and she's like, no, nappies, she means, and then she said to me, there's a translation in English, the nappy word means diaper, but for us Americans, that means like, nappy head African American. So we had that mix up with me and my ex-girlfriend who was British.
Okay.
And that was it.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you again on The Man Show. I'm your host, Mike.
So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop bosses driving 15 cars.